All right, so we're gonna make another kind of paint. Also, it's gonna be a sensory thing. We're gonna be making ice paint. So what you're gonna need is some sort of ice tray or mold. I'm using a teddy bear mold, so I'll be using my pan to move it because I'm not very graceful. You'll need food coloring, something to stir with. I don't have toothpicks. I usually use toothpicks, so I'm improvising using one of my metal straws, and some water. I've heard that if you use hot water, that they will come out clear and the color will be coming out more. So I'm gonna try that. I don't know if it works, but I guess we'll see. I am not very graceful, as I've said before. We'll see how this turns out. Not good so far. And then you're just gonna start adding your colors. I'm gonna be doing a couple blue, maybe a few purple. Definitely need to be pushing some water out because I did too much. If you don't use the hot water, then you know your child could be part of this whole process. I'm mostly doing it with hot water right now because I wanted to see if this would work. Definitely overfilled a lot of these. Also, maybe mix just one color at a time if you don't want to mix your colors. I have not been doing that. You can make as many as you want or as little as you want. I like to make mine the day beforehand because I'm very, very impatient, especially when it comes to art. I also like having an activity ready to go for when I'm ready. So I imagine that's how they feel. I also recommend washing your hands before doing anything like this. Babies put everything in their mouth, and with everything going on, you can't, better to be safe than sorry. I only did a few colors because I definitely overfilled these. That's okay. So the next step is just to put them in the freezer. So mine are now in the freezer, and you just gotta wait 3 or 4 hours or till the next day. Alright, so we have taken, lots of ice, our tray of our homemade paint out of the freezer. They froze really nicely, and I will say the hot water trick really does work. They came out really pigmented and not foggy. If you're using a silicone, I guess ice tray like I am, this is also a really good part that you could have them do. It would take some figuring out for them at first, but I find it fun, so they probably would too. I also forgot to mention that if you have paint at home, watercolor, any kind of paint that comes out of clothing or doesn't stain little hands, that is definitely the way to go. My hands are already pretty stained up from this, so maybe don't use food coloring. I don't have paint here. This is a really fun sensory activity. It's cold, it's melting in their hands, it melts on their paper. It's also the fine motor because they're having to use their hands and figure out how to pick up all of this stuff. It also touches in science because cause and effect, especially if you do the freezing the water with them, because we get to see it go from liquid to solid and then start becoming a liquid again. Along with, obviously, it's art, creative expression. And here is what it looks like. It's pretty pigmented for being ice. All right, well, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.